pot with distilled water or any kind of purified water. And I'm adding about a half a teaspoon of salt just to get this going. And I kind of eyeball that. And I'm going to add my butter. I like it real buttery. Plunk that down in there and let it start boiling. Now that my water has come to a rolling boil, I'm going to add my grits. By the way, I'm using polenta, which is naturally golden looking, so it's going to look a little different than your bleach white grits. I don't use the bleach grits anymore, so it's going to already look cheesy, even though it's not cheesy yet. I'm getting ready to add the cheese in a minute, which is optional. You don't have to add cheese. Some people like their grits sweet, some people like theirs salty and savory, and then some people like theirs cheesy. I prefer salty and savory or cheesy, either one of those two. I don't like sweet grits. I save the sugar for my oatmeal. So at this point, I'm just going to stir my grits and make sure that they don't set at the bottom like rice would, because you don't want it to burn because it will mess up the taste a little bit. I'm just going to stir it and put the top back on and let it cook some more until it starts bubbling. Okay, when it bubbles like this, you know it's time to tend to it. And do not leave grits unattended. I was so surprised when I went to New York and other places on the East Coast, and they were like, "What is grits?" I'm like, "What do you mean you haven't heard of grits? I thought everybody eats grits." Ouch. Be careful because that steam will burn you. Be sure to use a long handle spoon because once these grits start popping, you could burn yourself. So be very careful. Instant grits are a deal breaker. If you've ever been like somewhere like Denny's or IHOP and they bring you those grits out, they taste like they've been in the microwave. I don't fool with them. They don't taste right. There's nothing as rich and delicious as some homemade grits. It doesn't take but about 3 to 5 minutes to cook grits. So I think there's no excuses for instant grits. Because grits are instant within themselves already. I'm going to turn my fire down. Add a little more butter, because I like them buttery. And some nutritional yeast or Daiya vegan cheese. I'm all out of my Daiya vegan cheese, so I'm just going to use nutritional yeast today. Just kind of give it a slightly cheesy kind of texture. Carefully folding in my nutritional yeast and my butter, which is going to melt pretty easily. And I add a little more. And just keep stirring. If you need to add more moisture to your grits, then you can do so at this time. You can use either milk or water. When I'm doing a pot of non-breakfast grits, such as grits and greens or any kind of southern treat as an appetizer, brunch, or dinner, then I will add like heavy cream and milk and things like that. But breakfast grits are a little more simple than that. It doesn't take all those extra seasonings. I know some of y'all are happy about that because I don't have 10 million ingredients in the ingredients box for this. It's real simple. You don't want your grits soupy and watery, and you don't want them clumpy like a block. You want them nice and creamy. Those are the perfect type of grits that barely get complaints from anyone. And if you have people that like sweet grits, then I suggest you have some packs of sugar or anything else they can sweeten it with in their own bowl. That's how I handle that. Okay. As the nutritional yeast sets within these hot grits, they're going to instantly just start cooking into them. And since these grits are already pretty golden, since they're polenta, then you won't be able to see it anyway. Hot grits served. Not soupy, not clumpy, just right. Al Green's nightmare. Peace and blessings. You can go on to the next video now.